I don't think you realize how powerful the F-22 Raptor really is. When most people talk about the F-22's dominance, they talk about its stealth or its sensor-fusing avionics, and don't get me wrong, those are very handy in a fight. But whenever you talk to pilots about squaring off with the F-22 Raptor, they're always talking about how fast and how powerful it is. Now, this confused me early on because, after all, the F-15 is America's fastest fighter, with a top speed of Mach 2.5 versus the F-22's Mach 2.25. But the truth is, these afterburning top speeds are really a glamour metric. In order to actually achieve these top speeds, an aircraft has to be flying without any external or internal ordnance, as well as very little fuel. And the truth is, with your afterburner at full tilt, most fighters will expend all of the fuel on board in just a matter of minutes, meaning nobody ever sees an aircraft's top speed in an actual fight. In fact, more often than not, when fighters are squaring off against one another, they're not even using their afterburners at all. They're flying under what's commonly called military power. Now, that's because afterburners work by just dumping fuel into the outflowing exhaust of your jet engine. It might help to think of the afterburner sort of like the nitrous you saw used in the Fast and the Furious movies. Yes, it will make your aircraft go a whole lot faster, but you've got to be limited in the way that you use it. And that brings me back to the F-22 and its mind-boggling Pratt & Whitney F-119 afterburning turbofan engines. You see, back in 1997, the F-22 wasn't just the first stealth fighter ever to fly, but it was powered by the world's first turbofan engines designed specifically for stealth applications. These engines, designed by Pratt & Whitney, not only took great pains to reduce radar detectability and even to minimize the amount of detectable heat produced by the engines, but they also delivered a revolutionary leap forward in power production and efficiency. These engines were so advanced that it wasn't until last year, in 2023, that Russia and China announced plans to put their own fifth-generation engines into production for the first time ever. That's right, it took until 2023 for either of those nations to match the engine technology the F-22 was flying with in 1997. And whether or not they're true technological peers is still subject to some debate. But when I say a revolutionary step forward in power production, what do I mean? Well, let's put it in terms of comparisons we can all appreciate. The legendary SR-71 Blackbird was powered by a pair of J-58 turbojets that are sometimes known as turbo ramjets that could each pump out a jaw-dropping 34,000 pounds of thrust under afterburner, giving the SR-71 a combined 68,000 pounds of go-fast. The F-22 Raptor and its F-119s, on the other hand, each produce about 35,000 pounds of thrust for a combined 70,000 pounds. That's right, the F-22 Raptor produces more power than the SR-71 did under afterburner. But we already know afterburners are used sparingly in combat, and if you ask me, the F-22's truly daunting figures come in terms of its dry power output, or output without afterburner. You see, each of the F-22's turbofan engines produce 26,000 pounds of thrust without the afterburner engaged for a combined 52,000 pounds of thrust under military power. And to give you a sense of just how insane that is, that means the F-22 Raptor produces more power without its afterburners engaged than the F-15C can with its afterburners at full tilt. Just try to wrap your head around that. The F-22 Raptor is so powerful without its afterburners that not only can it supercruise or fly at supersonic speeds without using its afterburner, but it's been reported to supercruise at speeds as high as Mach 1.8. That means the F-22 can fly faster without its afterburners engaged than the F-35 can fly at all.